and it don't. So they're really and truly, it's not the steroids. It's about your determination. How hard are you working? Are you paying attention to that diet? Because I don't care if you don't have that good diet. It don't matter what you do. You're not gonna build muscle. You're not gonna look like nothing. So it's all not made equal, and everybody doesn't respond. Everybody don't respond the same. So everybody's journey is different with that. So when people start saying, "Oh, it's the steroids," that's how I know it. You don't really, you don't know. You don't even know the half of this.
Yeah.
So hey.
Yeah, and that's the thing is people that they just take the blind thoughts. They don't really educate themselves. Like me
Mm-hmm.
doing this content, I really learned some stuff over this period of time. Like when I talk with ladies like yourself and other people, I really learned some stuff because basically what information I knew because I've been following bodybuilding since I was my older brother. He used to play football. He was like a big local star here in our hometown, and he used to get the muscle mags and stuff. And I used to look at him because like guys like Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney, and all those guys, and
Mm-hmm.
you mind those guys are working. And then, like I said, I was getting to my pubescent ages of teenagers, and I see women like Linda Murray, Corey Everson, and Bev Francis, and all those women in Lower Craig Valley. They kind of blow my teenage mind that what a woman could do to her body like that. And and there's things that I can't repeat on screen right now that I did, but it's just that from what I learned when I talk to these ladies like yourself and how you got into sport because either you were already had athletic past, you already like you found that this was something to help you in whatever situation where you were in mentally, physically, whatever else you feel like And I think we talk about how when the pandemic hit, I think because it really messed a lot of people up. And it was difficult. A lot of people were going through it. The gyms closed down. Their church, their therapy was gone, but still people had to march on. And what you do with your situation after you failed your nurses finals, you realize that what I gotta live. I gotta find something. You found this, and it helps you. It's helping you now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's a beautiful thing. Sometimes we have to go through things and find trials and tribulations can sometimes help you discover who you are, help you
Mhm.
get closer to God, help you get closer to whatever. So I thank God that all that stuff happened, and see, like, it was a blessing that all that stuff happened, because even with bodybuilding, the discipline and stuff that goes into uh doing your regimen, your diet, sticking to that training regimen, like it, that all that translates into your regular life too. Because, like, shoot, I'm the most disciplined person I've ever been in my entire life, all around. Like, shoot, I'll be honest with you, shoot, everything wasn't, I wasn't the cleanest person, but now since I found bodybuilding, I'm clean now. I gotta have the schedule, everything, and my whole life just changed. So it just, it's a beautiful thing, and
I,
I
yeah,
love being a muscle. I love being a female bodybuilder, baby. I love
yeah,
it.
that's a good thing you love it because I'm not a clean person. I still I clean it now. My mom used to. See, I lived with my mom most of my life. And she was mostly doing the cleaning stuff like that. I used to come home from work. My mom was my woman. She cleaned my room. She did that. She did
She's
that.
spoiled.
I wasn't too spoiled because my mom, a while back, she, it was a few years ago, she got sick and, I was taking care of her till she passed away. And she taught me what I need to do as a man. My father was in and out. I have my older brother, I have my uncles and my grandfather, but my mother taught me how to be the person I needed to be. And because of her stuff, this is how come I get into this because I needed something to, like I say, instead of the middle part, something to give my mind meaning. And now that she's gone, this is something that's a purpose of mine because, like I said, I'm a fan of you ladies and stuff I see and on social media. Like I said, this weekend I just went to my first bodybuilding show, and I went to because where I live in North Carolina. I'm only a few miles from South Carolina, and I went to Savannah, and
Okay.
and I got to see some people like I follow on social media. A couple ladies who I interviewed before, ladies who are legends I've been a fan of. I got Alina Popa. Oh my God,
Yeah,
and then Linda Murray. She even smiled at me. She
man,
said,
yeah, you met the legend.
yeah, the one legend people might never heard. Her name was Annie Vicchio. Annie does photo shoots and stuff like that. But Annie used to be a big bodybuilder in the day, and she had a major physique. And it was great to be there and to be among people like that. What was your feeling when you first time you got on stage and you meet some of these athletes as a up and coming amateur at the time?
Man, I tell you what, I felt like I was at home. So like I did my first one in Oklahoma City, Showdown of Champions. It's like August, around this time, August last year. And man, the first time I did that, I felt like I was at home. I fell in love with bodybuilding. Like it was just how everybody embraced me. And that was my first show. I'm single. I don't have any kids. I don't have a boyfriend, nothing. So this is just me going out here, just no support. My family's in Dallas, just going out here by myself, just discovering something. And I'm just green to it all. And people just came up to me. I'm a loner by myself anyway. And the way that the community just gravitated to me, like, oh my gosh, you look great, and embraced me. And I got on that stage, and I knew from day one that I was gonna be either women's physique or bodybuilding. I was gonna be a muscle head. Like I wasn't made for no heels, and I know I wanted to pose. So I knew I was gonna pose. So once I got up there and got on that stage and did my thing and posed, I just felt at home. And even when my parents saw me, they was like, I feel like they said, I can tell you love this more than you love basketball. And I was like, heck yeah, I do, because I discovered this on my own. My parents, well, my parents, they were big in basketball, so I started basketball because of them. At 6 years old, they had me outside shooting that ball, and they was like, "You gonna get a scholarship." Whereas bodybuilding, I found this on my own. I discovered the gym on my own, so this is my passion. So to go up there on that stage, and even now to just say in just a year ago, I did my first show, and now I'm a pro. And a year later, man, that's a blessing. I love bodybuilding, so I felt at home, man. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing.
That's good that you found this because a lot of people just don't know what really how like originally I did interview a lady who just this is a lady who's at the same show as you were. Her name is Yetta Hansel, and I think she
Yeah.
just yeah, and she talked about how she felt like she really found love for this story. And I said, you know what, I reached out to her because she was also a friend with another lady by the name of Yetta May, and I said, this is why I want to do this stuff because your ladies have a great interesting story to tell and to share for people who don't know about this. Because like if you go on here on social media, especially on on YouTube, you're gonna find 2011 million state channels dedicated to men, but only so few dedicated for you women, other than bikini or maybe fitness and wellness,
And
or
wellness.
yeah, or they call those two divisions the tits and ass divisions of the sport. And even figure is recently Arnold, as you know, I'm a big Batman Begins fan. I love the whole Chris Nolan Wilson. Arnold has recently again walked behind another division and quietly stabbed him in the heart. And that was figure. And he did it with physique just last year, and then he did it to women's bodybuilding about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And and I know it's a struggle for you ladies to find a place. Even in your division, physique is starting to
Yeah.
come to meld into bit like bodybuilding. Now, folks, I'm gonna show you some pictures that I got on social media. I want you to check them out. And I mean, she has amazing physique. I am not gonna lie to you. And I saw her pictures. She reminds me of a lady who I did an interview a while back. With this picture right here, people look at it. She reminds me of Roxanne Edwards, who I did an interview a while back. Roxanne was one of the. Like, she started herself as a bodybuilder, but she switched to physique later in her career. Great physique, classic lines. Very like athletic built that I think people like to see more in bodybuilding, especially for the women. But she has an amazing body. I mean, she has great potential. And we'll show some more pictures. Tell me, what was that feeling when you heard that announced? Santana Francisco IFBB Pro.
Man, it just seems it's surreal. Like even looking at these pictures, that's somebody be like, that's me. And and that's why I appreciate like hearing wonderful things like you say to compare me to some other people, because I'll be honest with you, like I look at myself and I know how great I look, but even still I'm a very competitive person, and I just still see like the things that I need to work on and get better on.
Yeah,
And
you're almost someone right there.
yep.
Yeah. Is she all right?
But yeah, there's things I need to work on, and just even but it's a blessing to be able to say that, hey, I did it, and this is me, and I did that. Like and I feel like I really look cute doing it too. So hey, I did that. So hey, I'm just excited to see what I can do, what more muscle I can put on this next year to get ready for this pro debut. That's really
And
what I'm looking
who's
forward
this
to.
gentleman right here? That's your coach.
Yes, that's JT.
Uh-huh. And how long y'all know each other?
I just met JT a year ago. So like I said, he did that first show with me, and just really a year. He's the one, like, I was green to bodybuilding, so he's taught me all the posing. Taught me, he gave me my meal plan. I kind of knew how to train a little bit, but he just really gives me like my little plan to do for like training, and I just follow it, and it's all really online. And he's the one that really just got me uh, just ready to go on stage and everything. Like that's why I love JT. He's like a one stop shop.
And you did Texas Pro, which was the amateur show. And
Yes.
how well did you? How was your places for that show?
So at Texas Classic, so I did women's physique. I got first in women's physique class B, and then I got second in women's bodybuilding. It was just a heavyweight bodybuilding. It was just like nine of us, so they just put all of us together for one bodybuilding class, and I got second in that. So first in class in women's physique, and then second in bodybuilding.
Hmm. That's pretty good because I think Texas is becoming the last few years has become a kind of growing beggar for bodybuilding.
Yes.
Yeah, because I know recently, like I said, when I was at the Savannah, Mona Porcellet was there doing a guest posing, and
Mm-hmm.
Mona, she is originally she's originally from Iran, but she moved to Canada and she moved to the United States. You have a lady who I've been a big fan of, Vicky Gates. She's originally from Texas. Yeah, Mala Ash, she's from Texas. A lady who
Mm-hmm.
did interview, Jamie Savage, she's from Texas. A lady who I've become friends with, Brittany Big Linear Brooks, she's from Texas. I mean, and it's becoming, it's a growing mecca, but they're not as yet, even though they had an amateur show for bodybuilding for women, but not yet has shows for women bodybuilders for the pros. But it really has a span. For a long time, California was the home for bodybuilding,
Mm-hmm.
and then now you Florida, now you got Texas, and
Yeah,
and
Texas time up because that's where I'm end up. I'm moving to that back to Dallas here in January because that's where I've been going, like destination Dallas, like that. That's where everybody been going, and like even I had went to like a seminar like back in, what was that, probably like in April or something like that, and all the big name bodybuilders like the Olympian trainers like I can't even think of his name, I think Rami Hambrod, whatever, like whatever. But all of them they move into Texas because it's like becoming the mecca. Like Sarah, the Miss Olympia, she's pushing all the money
yeah,
towards.
Sarah Vegas, because
Yeah.
she paid for the last two shows
Mm-hmm,
in
yeah.
Vegas, and plus, as you know, she also a while back when Arnold was cutting out Mr. Physique, she offered money to bring for the prize money for Women's Physique, but for whatever reason he must not want the money,
Yeah. He. Mm-hmm.
and then she put it towards the Pittsburgh Pro.
Yeah. It's crazy how he just got rid of all of that. That is just like all the hard. It's like all the hard women stuff they got rid of.
Well,
But I can't blame it
well,
because it's revenue. So
yeah, but like I say, even if you look at those divisions, like I remember I was watching some videos. It was on from NBC News Online. They were like backstage, and you can't barely tell the difference between the figure girls and the fitness girls. And you were thinking, if you look at somebody like Jessica Padilla, and Missy Trescott, even though they're from two divisions, they could
what's
be,
the name?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's like it's getting. That's why I think he dropped it because that division was getting a little too close to,
Understand?
yeah, and but you shouldn't have to understand. It shouldn't be. It's not right.
Yeah.
There's no understanding that. I mean, from stuff I'm learning about Arnold, even though I'm a big fan, I love Conan Barbarian, I love the Terminator. I mean, I remember that part in Terminator in Conan Barbarian where he's like, "Clum, I never paid to you for. I had a tongue for it, but you two that I said, and to handle it." And I said like this, Arnold, he's just. He doesn't. The man had a child outside his marriage, and everybody knew for like so years. But it's just that's not the point. We got man JM, saying Santana sounds like a Spanish name. And, being from Texas, as you can't remember, Texas once was territory of Spain. And a lot of us of black descent have, people want to say before we were the first, and people might say, this is not racist or anything, but we were the first back we came over here. Because, remember the story how with Texas right there was that line between Texas and Mexico. And a lot of slaves went to jump over that river into Mexico. People forget that story. People
Well,
forget that
for
history.
me, that's not really where my name come from because my mom and dad, they're really from Louisiana. So,
Uh,
the real story for me is the Francisco. My parents is French, so my dad's last name was Francois. My friend, they so when they got freed, my friend they decided to change to Francisco.
uh-huh.
And my mom, Santana, she just saw that in a soap opera and said she liked it. And, and she said Santana Francisco, and that's why I get that in my whole life. My
Yeah.
like a Spanish name.
Well, my name comes from like this. My first name George came from my mother's father, my grandfather, and my father's great grandfather. The Page is actually my mother's maiden name, and my last name is my father's name. It's George. My mom used to always, my mom called me. She's like George Page, and I say yes. All of my siblings, I'm the only one who got the maiden name. I know I was special. That's good that you get support of your family. Your mom and your dad they stand beside you. And that's the thing with some people. I've talked with some people how sometimes when they get into the sport, they lost a few relationships. Even there's been a strain with family. You ever had that experience? When
That is,
your friends.
yeah. Believe it or not, close family kind of started acting weird. Got kind of big, and I don't know. It just seemed like they kind of got distant, like they don't really care for that, and they kind of let it be known that they don't care for like me being that muscular. So but hey, I gotta let them people go. I can't worry about it. I love what I do, and I love how I look. And I just want to get bigger too. So hey, you might as well go because I'm just getting bigger. So I can't worry about it.
Yes, like you'd be like Patrick Swayze in a Roadhouse where everybody say Dalton. I thought you were bigger, but she's getting bigger. And that's the thing is, it's about the progression of the sport, a progression as an athlete. As you know, ladies I've talked to, they feel like their focus is on to the next step in this line. The big question is, as you know, you are a pro. Are you thinking about just sitting out for a while and maybe, like I said, build up yourself and build your physique, and also to build up a little cash box? One thing about bodybuilding, it's not cheap. From
Mm-hmm.
stuff I learned, I mean, your suit can cost you about as much as a mortgage. Your the between food, prep, travel, makeup. A lot of ladies who go under the knife because they want more aesthetically pleasing